What's up, guys? Welcome back finally to the Firewalking Journey channel. I'm coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We have made our move and are settling in, and so hopefully I'll have a lot more to share with you on that front. But I just wanted to make a quick video to get to some unfortunate news coming out of Sarawak, Malaysia, regarding the Sarawak MM2H visa program. It's not the end of the world for some of you, but it is a big change. So if you saw my original video introducing the Sarawak MM2H as a backdoor of sorts to the Malaysia visa program, you know that one of the most enticing aspects of this visa was that not only were the requirements quite low, but they gave you two pathways, either a fixed deposit, like you have a large chunk of savings pathway, or an offshore income pathway. And unfortunately, the big change that they've made now at the end of August to be implemented in the beginning of September 2022 is that you need to have both to qualify. So you need to have a fixed deposit and you need to have that offshore income. So it becomes less enticing. It becomes a bit harder. The thing, though, is that, of course, the federal MM2H program was hugely popular and then infamously was wrecked by the federal government when they implemented huge changes to make the minimum requirements astronomical, relatively speaking. And the thing is that the Sarawak program now resembles what that federal program that was very popular prior to COVID. It resembles that federal program. So if you were interested in that original federal program, if you could qualify for that one, then the Sarawak one is still very much an option for you, with a couple caveats. One is the second change that they made at the beginning of September, which is that instead of 15 days in Sarawak, you now have to spend 30 days per year in Sarawak, which really shifts the mindset quite a bit. I think 15 days, you could live anywhere you want in Malaysia and just go visit Sarawak for 2 weeks. But now that it's a 30-day threshold, that makes it a bit tougher because taking out a 1 month chunk of your time living elsewhere in the country. So I think this would make a lot more sense for people who might be open to living in Sarawak, or if you're totally retired, you're not tied down to a place and you can kind of move around, then this could also work for you as well. Just to go over the numbers real quick so that everybody knows, currently now the requirement is a fixed deposit for a single person, a single individual is 150,000 ringgit. For a couple, it's 300,000 ringgit. And today that's roughly 33K US dollars for the individual. And in addition to making that fixed deposit, you must also be able to show an offshore income, whether that's pension, rentals, some kind of retirement distribution, of 7,000 ringgit for an individual, which is 1,500 US dollars, or 10,000 ringgit for a couple, which is about 2,200 US dollars per month. So, yes, if you were not planning to do that fixed deposit, now that you have to do it, it really changes the calculus. And indeed, if you do not have any way to show any type of income, that does make things a lot more difficult. And I have heard and read about people on both sides of that who are really upset that they can no longer do this. But if you are able to, if you were one of those folks who was looking at the federal MM2H program previously, then this is still very manageable. There is, of course, the conversation of how can they keep changing things, and is it something you can really truly rely on, which is a very valid point as well. But if you were thinking of potentially living in Sarawak or living in Malaysia but able to spend a month in Sarawak each year, then this could work for you as a 5-year visa with the option to renew. Since I said that, I'll also just say real quick that 30-day requirement per year in Sarawak would be reviewed when it came time to renew. So most likely, I'm not going to say absolutely, but most likely you could skirt that requirement if you did not plan to stay in Malaysia beyond 5 years. Now, there are still those differences between the federal program and the Sarawak program that you should be aware of. One, you do need to hire an agent or have somebody sponsor you for the Sarawak program. And you also need to meet those other requirements based on your age that I talked about in the original video. That is, if you're 50 or older, then you can very straightforward qualification based on what I talked about earlier. Otherwise, if you're 40 to 49, then you'll need to purchase a property for 600,000 ringgit minimum, which I think is around 140,000 US dollars. And then if you're 30 to 39, you'd have to qualify by also having some sort of ongoing medical treatment in Sarawak, or you'd have to have children enrolled in some education in Sarawak. So I will link to the updated guidelines down in the details. You can see they published this beginning September of 2022. Now, on the bright side, there are a couple new options that are coming on the horizon. There is a digital nomad visa, essentially, from Malaysia that will initially looks like it will have a very low financial requirement. And it could be very attractive to the more transient population that's only looking for a ongoing 1+1 year term and commitment from Malaysia. And then there's also clear indications that Sabah will be unveiling its own MM2H program, and they say it's going to be distinct from the federal program, from Sarawak as well, and it could be of interest if you want to live in Sabah, which has Kota Kinabalu, has lots of you know nature, Mount Kinabalu, of course, and potentially would give you the option to reside in East Malaysia or in West Malaysia, and we'll see. We don't know what the details are, but stay tuned.